reminds me that the picture will be taken tomorrow. I know a few people did not get t-shirts. We'll try and get some t-shirts for you today. This is the t-shirt that you will be wearing tomorrow. You can remove it after the group photo. It's not going to be at the hottest time of the day. It's going to be earlier during the fast break. And yeah, so that's the reason why I'm reminding you that. So for the summer school and just overall throughout the whole week, we have, I'm just showing a snapshot of where everyone is coming from. We have almost half of our participants from the United States, but you can see that we have a diversity of all over the world, and we have a lot of friends, and I hope that you will gain this entry into this community and build your own community from this. You can see the sort of universities that are represented. There are various people at different times, at different sort of phases of their careers. So, you know, if you see someone that you'd really like to make a connection, I hope that you spend the time to do it. We also have, again, this is two things that, you know, I think you'll hear throughout the week. We try to figure out what space that we're going to play in. One of the things is breast and how making breast care very, very transformative through AI. That's led by Dr. Hari. And this is a big, big thing. You should walk out of this week knowing that you've seen the best around breast AI, because that's one of our core businesses that we do here. The second one is bias, right? We are, you know, sorry to be a little bravado, but we are one of the teams that leads around fairness and bias in the at least in the US, around when it comes to medical AI. And so you should walk away, and there's so many experts in this room who are leaders, and so what you'll find is that everyone is so friendly, and so here are sort of one perspective, two perspectives, dimensions of, you can see the diversity of the group, but also in terms of expertise, right? You can see we have almost the same number of healthcare professionals and computer scientists. It's not very common for you to find that type of mix. So I hope that we don't have an ethics whisperer yet, but I hope that you will find someone that expands and grows your network. So first of all, there's this question that is always in the registration form. It's optional, and I love it that people spend the time to complete it. So it's this one. So if you're in the room and you completed it, I say thank you. And I always say, throughout life, we encounter valuable advice. Can you share the best advice you've received and advice you've given to someone? And you know, I'll read this. I get to read all of them, so that's like an amazing you know, thing. But so the best advice I've received was, these are just some samples. If I don't pick yours, it doesn't mean yours was not good. Please, it was great. I just picked what was resonating to me, and what I think. We are work spouses, me and Harry, and you'll find our other work spouse sometime later, Dr. Newsom. So the best advice I've received was from my stepmom, who told me not to worry about having to travel for work and be away from my kids when they were little. She said they won't remember. She advised to be there when they arrive home from school during middle school, and I'm so glad I was able to do that. As someone who is a young mom, I know that it takes a village to really be a professional. I can tell you that both of our Hitila babies were born 2 days apart, and that it took a tremendous help from Harry to keep going through when I was in post-maternity, and it just takes a village, and that's one thing that's why the person who wrote this resonated to me, and but the big parent is very difficult. So then this one, a monk told me there are 4 types of friends: the one you say hi to in passing, the ones you get tea with, the ones you take out to eat at restaurants, and the ones you bring home. You cannot bring everyone home because you will get robbed, and you know, and you see why this one was a favorite. And you cannot take everyone out to eat because you'll go broke. And so I hope that you will find good friends here. I would say that if Dr. Newsom was here, she would say that you have 3 C's in friends: comrades, confidants, and constituents. And so the person who wrote this, I was very drawn to because you know, I think, and there's quite a lot of research that is showing that even just friendships, right, these deep friendships that you can have with people are so transformational. In fact, well, I don't know if this is good science or bad science, that they can even affect sort of like it's better than quitting smoking. I hope hope no one is smoking, but if you are, but if you have a good friend, it's probably as protective. At least that's what the research is saying right now. But the value of deep friends is just amazing, and I hope that this forum is also going to make you make some new friends. I know that I have, and there's many who are sitting in the room. So the next one you can see again, it's around friendship. It's okay to be wrong to win a friend. If you want to always be right, you will win the argument but lose your friend. So think deeply about this. So here are some others, and I'm just showing you this because these people spend the time and they're here, and I hope that you spend the time to get to know them. And plus, there is a test, that Sadia is going to show that maybe if you're more experimental, you're going to figure out. So this one was, who am I to judge another man's servant? Sometimes I get caught up in looking at the performance of others who do not report to me. This statement reminds me that everyone has a higher up that they have to answer to. It's not my business to concern myself with their performance. I think these two things, these two statements for me sort of talk about judging and sort of making sure, what I would say, that your cup is full. And the reason is that if your cup is full, then you can have something to pour out to other people and share with, right? And I hope that we're very lucky to have the HITI team, who many are here, many are going to teach. And we like to keep our cup full, but I hope that we will be sharing our knowledge. And this is going to resonate a lot in the summer school, where I have asked all the faculty, and I've written to, I would say, all the talks already, to think about not what you read in a paper or what you read in a book. It's what would take you months and eras of mistakes to learn, and make sure that you have an anchor point for you to get started, to be able to do different type of research or expand your research. And so this one was also, the second one said, the best piece of advice I was received was from my mom when I became a mom during graduate school. Despite feeling mentally overwhelmed and physically challenged after a difficult labor, she reassured me, saying, you can do both and be the image of what you think a career woman and mother should look like. This advice resonated deeply with me and empowered me to believe in my ability to balance motherhood with pursuing my career aspirations. And so the advice I've given is to others facing similar challenges. I often share the importance of self-belief and resilience. Becoming a mother and managing a career simultaneously requires determination, self-care, and courage to redefine personal success based on individual values and priorities. It's essential to embrace support networks, seek guidance from mentors, and prioritize self-care to navigate the complexities of balancing professional and personal roles effectively. So there were some naughty ones, as you can see from the first two here. Make sure you know Judy, and ethics, something we don't understand, but we all need to be working on that. That's a fact, though, so I will take that. And there was also the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, and live life to the fullest, and be happy, be kind, and never give up on a dream that makes you tick. And then the last one, from the samples. I mean, there are many of these, by the way, and it's just always amazing to read them. One of the most impactful pieces I've received and shared from is from Eckhart. Life happens in the present moment. This advice underscores the importance of staying grounded in the here and now, and how to shape a better future. I found it essential to remind myself and others that our actions and decisions today profoundly influence tomorrow, and I hope that that is also some of the ethos of what you do to make AI safe for our patients and everyone. So why the summer school, right? This is me. 2 years ago, I got a piano for my Christmas gift. As growing up in Africa, this is not like, I mean, and I do know that there's some of my African friends here, including Lois, who was my classmate from Kenya, joining us. And so, I thought, wow, I'm pretty good at picking up skills. I'm pretty good at watching YouTube and doing some do-it-yourself type of things. I've been able to do that quite a lot, and I thought I would be good at it, and I wasn't actually. I'm not good at it, but and actually playing piano is very much like programming. It's very like, if you have that type of mind, in my opinion, that's sort of like how it feels. And so I tried. There's so many things. You can see that in this picture, there's my phone here. So it turns out that with AI, you can play a chord, and the phone will listen to you and say, are you playing the right thing, and allow you to move on, right? So there's so many things to help you learn today, right? You can watch YouTube and play. You can even play practice and have the, some AI thing listen to you and give you feedback, but I couldn't still be able to learn it. It took a physical teacher sitting next to me to give me the momentum that was required to get learning. That's why we have a summer school this year. We've operated a lot of datathons around the world. I don't know, Moning there has operated probably one of the oldest one. How many this year at Singapore?
It's 6 years in Singapore, but our data is very old and very young. As young as
Okay. Well, so yeah, so we have people around the world who've helped organize these events. A lot of the MIT students, they can wave, they are sitting somewhere in here, right? They've gone to several of them around the world. In fact, the one at this weekend will be the 52nd Datathon around the world. The second one at Emory, the second one really focused on medical AI and bias. And so what I noticed is that most of these datathons are, the programming teams is only one person, right? So Smith and Wesley here, they did the critical care, very, very amazing datathon. And so you find that the people who are coding tend to be the same type of people. And you see that if you look at their publications, they tend to publish from the same data sets. That's a problem for bias, right? Because it means that you cannot tackle another new data set, right? You are sort of limited. And so, I said that, if we looked at last year now, I believe the Turing test for coding, especially with the GPT models, has been solved. If you're not trying to come up with a new model to do something, then to ask pandas code, and we see it in our lab, that has changed in terms of how we program today. And so we think that we still need a mentor model. You need the teacher equivalent for what I got for my piano lessons, and we don't know what that is, to be able to learn and be able to say, okay, here is what we're going to take, and this is how I'm going to walk away with this. So what I want you to do is, as we go through the lessons, I told you what I've told the faculty, is say, how could I explain that better? Or how could I have learned that better? And then look at this like you're walking in with an empty box that says, okay, here is the toolbox that I have. And at some point, I'm going to use this toolbox to say, okay, I have this problem. This is how I solve it, right? Because you can refer to these things later. You will have people to ask these questions. And so I want you to adopt that. And, I'll tell you that when we were practicing for this, some of our students said this is like cramming 5 years of experiment into 4 days. So, so I just want you to think about that you're working just adopt, like, how do I use this tool is the most important thing that you can take away. As we go through the tutorials, we're gonna start very, very simple. And I'll explain that in the agenda in a few minutes. So I hope at the end you will make friends, you will join our community around of the people who believe in this collaborative work, collaborative science. It's an amazing way to do. Here's someone from a doctor who participated in the datathon from Moning. You can just see sort of like their work, but I can tell you that the datathons can be very, very successful, and we're just using the summer school to help you prepare for the datathon. In fact, the paper for showing AI can tell, the race of patients was an idea that stemmed up from a datathon. And so the idea here is not competition, it's really to think about how we learn. And I hope that this is going to serve as a beginning for at least one of you, and that's going to be worthwhile for our effort. So some ground rules. This is a good time. You could say, I want to read my emails. I ask you, you can see this is an amazing space. Just go out, spend time if you need to do other stuff outside the auditorium. We do know that your computers have to be up so that you can sort of follow along. Digital distractions, if you haven't organized your pictures, I know that I haven't organized guys mind, I ask you to just show respect and, just do those things that can be distractive to you or your neighbor outside. We will try to not bring new users. Please don't lose your badge and just keep it. If you see anyone with this type of badge, those are the organizers. You can ask them any questions. I can say that I'm really envious of the other badge, to be honest, but that's a story from another day. I try to say, well, how can you, don't do this, don't do it. It's all about respect for yourself and respect for the people around you. That's what's going to make this a wonderful week. Yeah. So these are the HITI Lab faculty. You saw Harry, you saw myself. You'll see Dr. Newsom because she'll be taking pictures of you at some point. She has to take care of patients today so that we're here, but we're very appreciative. We have amazing summer school faculty. I'm just gonna leave this for 10 seconds so that you can see them. They're here. You can talk to them. I think people get surprised that they're like, wow, they're so easy to talk to. And it's true. I can tell you that, I was bothering these two people here at the Critical Care Datathon, and they did not chase me away. And so, these people are really friendly and just amazing leaders. When you're not so busy, just look up. You can look up their profile, you can ask them about their papers. I mean, it's really an amazing learning opportunity, and I hope that you take it. These are our additional, faculty. So the most important thing, is at the behind your badge, right? So this is the same QR code. This tells you the agenda, okay? And I'll go through it. It's online, so if anything changes, you get there. There is a WhatsApp group. We like to share pictures. Enzo got rained on yesterday. If you're trying to do things together, this is an amazing way to get, I'll leave that for a second. If you haven't joined the WhatsApp group, ask your neighbor to show the QR code, or just ask for the link or use this link. Technical questions. So technical questions are going to be answered on Slack. There will be many assistants. So even if you may not really notice it, the curriculum is scheduled to have like these checkpoints. The idea is that not to get so lost and without asking for help, right? Because then when we come later to what's our main thing for breast, you're going to be completely lost, So just, ask for help. There are many people who can help. There is, Ria, where's Ria? Not yet, yeah, not that one yet. Ria? From IU? Okay, so we have a leaderboard of that we have to it's a checkpoint. You'll see at the end of the day, we'll put a QR code and you submit, you answer some questions and you submit. The winner of the leaderboard is going to get a prize. I don't know what the prize is, but I know it's been purchased. So it's been purchased, so it's not free. So it's something good. So just make sure that you're tracking that. And, most of you saw that I was also posting pictures as I was traveling. It takes a tremendous amount of team to bring this event together. And I want, every time you see them, tell them thank you. Because everything that you will experience, the food, just everything is really because of this fantastic group of people. Wes is at the back there. You'll see him in a bit. He really helped, him and Dr. Newsom designed the t-shirts, and then Mona implemented this. This is Mona. You've already met Mona outside with Kathy. And then Badia, who is not able to join us right now just because he's a resident and he has another boss, but really helped a ton in trying to think about how to structure the summer school. This is Sam. You will see her. One thing that we will have everyone sign is just like a media release, because we're taking so many photos and we're sharing them with everyone. And then Sassy and her team from AWS just helped us a ton with the infrastructure. It's not easy to load medical imaging data on that, so very grateful. Saptashi, who's here, one of my closest friends, and he helped us a ton with sort of even thinking about the teaching style. And Beatrice, you will get to know Beatrice Chris. She has a lot of talks. She's a fantastic educator, and so her hand Wes really worked a ton on this. So there are many other people. You will see new students come here and take over tasks. It would not be possible, and I just want you to say thank you to them. These are our sponsors. Mainly the Lacuna Fund, who really gave us a grant. It's not, a lot of people did get scholarships even to waive registration, and so this would not be possible without the funding from Lacuna Fund. And then the AWS team provides us with the cloud service, and then Hopper sponsored one of the speakers, aka me, but they also gave us a ton of other support, and they're having cool stuff, and so you'll get to meet their team. I don't know if one is already here, but yeah. And then the Center for Digital Health at Morehouse School of Medicine have been our partners as well from last year. And we are employees of the Emory School of Medicine, and so we are always grateful for the support. There's one, not directly in terms of like monetary sponsor, but someone who's really helped us a ton, and that's Ali, who does a lot of work with Thread. You'll see sort of those integrations just to, we do believe that the future really, even if you walk out of this week and can set up your developer environment with an AI-enabled assistance, that's a pretty big success if you end up comfortable using that. So I'm just showing this for my cell phone. I'm not going to be reading any emails, so just if there's a problem, just text me. There are many people around, and I say, if you have a problem, these 3 people they're the people who are enabled to solve your problem. And so I hope that you can take advantage of them. So with that, it's 8:34. I want to show you the agenda. So if you scan the back of your badge, it takes you to this website. It's just datathon.org. It's pretty easy to remember. And if you go to the agenda, you'll see sort of, the days. And we have 4 days of summer school, 1 day of a symposium, and then a weekend of just collaborative hacking, okay? So we will, we're starting here. You had breakfast. This is, we're running 4 minutes late. We're gonna welcome Sedia, just start coming down for the icebreaker, and then Awez is going to take over the technical setup, and then we're gonna have a break. The reason why we have a little bit, today is 20 minutes, but I want you to really, we cannot bring food or drinks in the auditorium, so else we cannot use this amazing space. So just try, no one is gonna police, so just try and leave, drink outside. If you need a drink, all the drinks will be there, just step outside and drink from there. And then we will have Smith and Wesley lead us into, this is the most catchy talk we have in the, most catchy. Yeah, I did tell them that they have to set the tone, how to address missingness in data, and then Saptashi and Attika are going to talk through the Emory ICU data. And then Minja is going to talk about from a statistics point of view, using an example from the National Inpatient Sample Data Set. For this one, we won't have a hands-on notebook, and that's just because to get the NIS, it's not regulated through Emory and would have to get permissions, and it's too much. Why start with tabular data? This is because it's very difficult to anchor medical imaging data directly, right? So these 3 topics, some of them will be very easy for you. It's okay. Try some of the tasks that have been put there are also anchored to make it a little bit challenging. You can start to explore more data sets, but this is going to allow us to all start off from the same page, right? There's some people who are way advanced, some people who are way behind, but I'll tell you, we will have something that you don't know throughout this whole week. And then we will move on to the, I will come back at 2 p.m. to do the patient imaging workflow, and then thereafter we will move on to, Mali will give sort of like, how do you think about chest X-ray, and then Theo is going to do the data processing. So as you can see, you can just go to the agenda, and then we start to dive into more. I'll come back again tomorrow to talk about ground truths for medical imaging, and then Pochi and Frank are going to come into the chest X-ray data set, and then we will have a session. Unfortunately, Andrew from Google has a family emergency, so he's just going to give a 30-minute talk on embeddings. I think it's a pretty important talk because there's so much activity around that, and then we're going to get into our sort of our expertise, which is breast, which is going to be how patients are screened, and then going through data engineering, including regions of interest, how we process, Morning and Duha are going to talk about the whole image classifier, and then Beatrice is going to take over with model evaluation and inference, and continue again with Harry to finish sort of like the breast, and Rohan to finish breast MRI, which is new for our data set, by the way. So the embed data set is now used by 200 researchers around the world. And so we spend a lot of time developing it, making it better. And so I hope that even by listening in, you can think about ways to make it better. We have a speaker who's going to talk about radiopathomics. I think this integrating of multimodal data, one thing I ask of you is, as you move along through the week, I think two things. One, what's the problem that we should answer over the weekend? And I have problem statements, but it would be great if you start to think about that yourself. And then what would you like to see next year, right? And like what, so that's super helpful for me, and I would appreciate that. And then we'll have a keynote from Tia Pope, who will be talking about sort of like a patient perspective for reducing bias. And then Enzo is going to sort of wrap up everything that we've been listening into the week and put, how to think about beginning work specifically in bias, and then how to also setting up, sort of what we'll be working on throughout the weekend. And then, we have one of our speakers on Friday, Dr. Lauren, who is just one of the world's experts for breast cancer disparity. She's going to give sort of like a grand challenge of what's not being answered. So you can imagine if you learn this week and then you hear her talk, then you can start to see the next. And then we'll have a hands-on sort of AWS SageMaker, because it's what we'll be using mainly for the data. So that's the summer school. We will, the agenda is here, the speakers are here, everything is pretty here, parking is here, what shuttle should I use should be here, and I hope that you have a wonderful time. So where's Sadia? Oh, okay, so we're moving on now to the icebreaker, and then after that, we will have the technical setup. Cool. How do I? Yeah, it should be here. Yeah, put it.
Oh no, it's like
Okay. Oh, and the Wi-Fi should be Emory guest if you haven't logged in.
Can I use the? Hi. Hi.
I think you need to put.
Yeah.
On phone, okay?
Just allow.
Changing laptops.